Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the number one goddamn Dungeons and Dragons stream of all time. It's Goblins Under the Stairs. Yeah, give me that devil laugh. We got with us tonight Johnny Colbauer, aka Crick, 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 Crick. We got good old Tommy, aka Langston Embershroud. We got Luke down below him, aka Mantozermeister, and then a couple more down below him, we got Carlos Garcia, aka Mr. McNasty, aka Rampu, aka Don't Tell Your Mom, he'll be late for dinner. We're ready for y'all tonight on a Tuesday night, a little late, short session as we take a bit of a hiatus for some personal time. Before we jump on into the session, though, does anyone want to do a recap, a quick one for a little bit of inspiration? Luke disappeared from the screen.
So, nope, he's gone. He's out. I can give it a try.
He's asleep again. Yeah, go for it, Tommy.
So I have inspiration, but I just want to do this to test myself. There are going to be holes, but let's see where we're at.
All right.
So Stormbreakers were still wrapping up their fight with the Nightmare Beast. It began getting to the final lengths of the battle, a little back and forth action. And before it was felled, it let out a final disintegration blast that took our sweet, dear, and beloved Lurk from us into a lovely pile of ashes. Upon, I believe it was Manto that landed the killing shot, we then did a fantastic Street Fighter-esque Ultra Team finisher, Marvel v Capcom style, on this thing to take it out. Langston was beside himself taking care of the ashes with no avail. Crick also registered what happened and entered super duper angry don't talk to me mode. And as soon as the beast was dead, we collected the tusk and we're about to leave. A band of what we assume was the Amethyst Knife, I think, or whomever, the other group that was in the competition with dressed in purple garb stepped up ready to take the winnings from the Stormbreakers. We sort of said eat shit, not today, and Langston dimension doored Crick. Rampu, with a rather incredible sense of tact, flew up in the air, used fog cloud to blind them, and then Manto teleported out. We ran out past them, teleported away, and thanks to Crick having a lovely use of Featherfall, instead of backtracking through the switchbacks and everything, we fully jumped off the mountain, giving our near and dear sweet DM a heart attack, wondering, are we sure we're going to do this? So much so he asked 3 times before we actually committed. We were able to fly down the mountain, and through use of spells, through use of physics, and through just being absolutely rad as hell, we ended up flying all the way back to the beach where we first met the seals that ended up betraying us. I won't talk about it, still sensitive. And shortly thereafter, we were, well, actually, no, not thereafter, while we were flying, due to Manto actually pocketing some ashes in order to honor Lurk's memory, we were enlightened to the fact that he became sort of an angel and was called back to Celestia to serve his purpose, and was able to give the Stormbreakers one final blessing and one final farewell, and to call on him when we need him. And then we got a very cool message inscribed and scorched into stone that I cannot recall verbatim without taking everyone's time to look it up, and that brings us to now.
Beautiful. Yeah, everyone should have inspiration also. I just remembered that, so you can go ahead and take a potion of healing, and that's your inventory for that.
Taking it back.
Yeah, so as that was a great recap also. So as you guys landed back on the beach here, Lurk in his new Deva angelic-like form, blessing you all and giving you all this kind of divine message imparted before he left. He left in this kind of shimmer of gold ethereal dust. The dust kind of lingers into the air a little bit, floating there almost like incense smoke, and soon enough, it actually begins to take shape and form and begins to spiral and wrap around your guys' bodies. You can feel the warmth and radiance from that etherealness left behind in his wake. And in this moment, everything around you guys starts to get intensified in lightness, bright white and gold kind of colors shimmer around you, almost blocking out the atmosphere and environment that you guys found yourselves in currently.
All right.
And as this white light gets brighter and brighter, more intense, and everything around you guys seems to vanish, you feel the warmth almost like it's pulling at you, and you guys feel this like intensity as if you're being like as if you're sitting like in a train or something, and you feel your body rushing through, but you also feel like you're sitting at the same time. It's a strange feeling as you find yourself sitting here, but as that white light kind of fades and pools and secedes, you guys hear this distant choir kind of echo out in the background and fade out, and the gold flakes kind of begin to clink as they strike this flooring in here, as you guys make your way back to the base of Dr. Sardonicus. And inside you see the sterile geometry, the same humming, the machinery, that gold dust kind of lingers off to the floor. And as you guys make your way in here, you see all of your crew inside being held by these different types of four-armed robots and machinery. Each one of these of your crew members with this kind of, you see, kind of similar to the fly-like beetles that you guys saw flying around. You see a kind of a scarab, like a black beetle-like device, kind of attached to the base of their skull and on the back of their necks. And as you guys reappear in this space once again, you hear a voice kind of come over these loud comm speakers. Extraordinary. Truly extraordinary.
I look around. Are we in a simulation right now?
What the fuck are you doing with them?
And kind of like a pixelated, fragmented projection appears on some of those glass panels on that make up the geodesic dome, and you see the familiar face of the mad scientist, Dr. Sardonicus, appear on those. Well done. Celestial apotheosis is under stress conditions. I wondered if divinity would object. It did not.
I know damn well you are not talking about our buddy for your own scientific findings, and this was a test for that. I have my spear like locked and loaded, like ready to get yeeted at this projection, knowing damn well it's not going to do anything, but Langston is heated.
Now, no need to get excited. Let us proceed professionally. And you see the robots clenching each one of your, crew members, holding them up into the air, and each one of them restrained in place and not giving a fight back whatsoever as they look at you guys with these kind of deadly scared eyes and intentions on their faces.
Does it seem like these robots are doing, like, is it just holding them in place, or does it seem like they're, absorbing, like, memories or doing anything, like, with their overall, like, mental state, from what we can tell?
Yeah, make a perception check. Or actually, maybe
Alrighty.
Investigation might make more sense for that.
All right, this is going to be significantly worse. Aha! We back, y'all, like we never left. 11.
Yeah, with that, I would say, because, you clearly see them holding it, but holding each one of them, but to determine what exactly is happening, to your knowledge, of course, you're worried about what you've learned and everything about consciousness and pulling memories and whatnot, but to you, it looks like they are being held kind of hostage in this situation right now. Yeah, so 11 it's fair. It's get extraordinary details, but this is kind of like a measure of like, let there be peace, or else there won't be peace.
I will, like, lean over to Crick and be like, I think he heard our threats. What do you think?
Kind of look over at Langston. I don't know if they were loud enough.
I will. Langston thinks back and then just remembers every single drone almost everywhere, all of the time, and I'm just like, I don't know if volume was the issue.
And like this, I'm assuming we teleported here, right? Like this is clearly not a dream or that we can tell.
Yeah, it appeared that
Right.
gold dust that Lurk left behind in his Deva form. Who would you guys say you guys wouldn't have to teleport?
We went.
You guys
through
wouldn't have
it.
to walk, 2 more days, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess Crick would just kind of look up and look back at the guys and look back at Dr. Z and go, "So what now?" As he kind of lays the horn down on the ground.
Well done. I'm sure you guys are all aware that, well, you were the first ones to ever complete this hunt in full.
Yeah, we got that.
Kind of looks around. Well, you're no longer subjects. But if you are willing to go in peace, I shall give you your reward in peace.
And the rest of our crew.
Yes, of course, the rest of the crew as well.
Like he's like looking at the robots and is like, "Oh, thank God he didn't get Starbo. Oh, thank God." He just like has like a sigh of relief in his head for a second.
Do they look like they've been corrupted in any way, shape, or form while we've been gone?
You make an investigation check.
Oh, it didn't roll. Ooh, 18.
18,
Good
nice.
for you, dude.
They don't seem like that exactly, but you notice the kind of flashing, a small kind of flashing, like red LED light that make up the eyes of the scarabs that are attached to their necks. It doesn't seem like a corruption of sorts, but it seems like a fail-safe mechanism of sorts for if you guys were all to step out of line, perhaps. Who knows what exactly that those things might trigger.
I'm talking about our crew members. Like
Correct.
once.
Yeah, they don't seem corrupted.
Oh,
or
okay,
anything.
okay.
Yeah, it just seems
Okay.
you see the black scarab like robotic devices attached to the back of their necks.
Okay.
And can Crick tell like where where the hologram is emanating from? Like, is this a man behind the curtain Wizard of Oz situation, or is he nowhere to be found?
You can make a. I don't know, what check do you think would be appropriate for what exactly you're trying to do for that? I was gonna say investigation or arcana.
Yeah, I was thinking Arcana because it's all going to depend on like the distance that whatever this magic
Yep.
can flow, kind of.
That is fair. Go
Can
for it.
I
Yeah.
give Crick guidance while he's doing this? Like while I see him like starting to scan around the room and just like put my hand on his shoulder to make it look like I'm holding him back after setting the tusk down, but really I'm trying to like help him suss out what this is.
Yeah, go for it.
Sweet. Add a D40 roll, my guy. Holy shit.
Didn't need it.
Come on. Ah,
Yeah.
on a 30.
It's going to be 30. And then like with the like as I'm looking it through, right? Like I'm also looking for any Black Talon insignias or right, because we now know that he's working with the enemy. So is there anything else afoot here that we missed when we were here last time?
So with the arcana check specifically, I would say that you, with that, yeah, you kind of see that kind of a little bit of like a glitchiness of the screen going pulsing in and out a little bit. Especially like when he speaks, it seems to like pulse a little bit. And as you like kind of listen out with that as well, it seems like you don't hear a voice nearby. It's a projection coming over like the loudspeakers or whatever. And with this, you're not even sure if you can make of it as much as you will, but he doesn't seem like he's within your guys' vicinity immediately. What I was gonna say is that you're not even sure if he's on the planet.
Well, here's a question for you. These robots, can I see anything that would look like some kind of power source? If I were to interrupt that, they go, "Wow."
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check.
That's a pretty spot on.
Yeah, now let's see. Ooh, a nice +0 in there. A 3. I'm gonna use that inspiration.
Yeah, go for it.
A 10. Okay, at least it's better.
Yeah, so kind of as you're looking around them, you don't see like a little like kind of click up, a little pull out kind of thing or on them or anything like that, and you don't see like a mechanism that seems like wires are coming from that or anything along those lines. And of course, it's like foreign technology to you guys. But you would imagine that like if there is a power source to them, it's something that is almost like a heart. It's something that's like inside and locked away.
Got it. So I would look up at the doctor. Well, it depends on what this reward is.
No, depends. Either yes or no. I'll say it again. Let us proceed professionally.
I mean, I look at the crew. In terms of professionally, we've done everything that you professionally set out for us to do. So, the only one acting unprofessional, I would say, is the one that arguably has their crew kidnapped and being choked by a bunch of robots.
He lets out a deep sigh. Alpha 3, and you see one of the robots begin to move around. Proceed. And you see him begin to start squeezing on the back of Garganel and Davion and Dervik, on the back of them, and they start to wince and scream as the robots are just squeezing them tighter and tighter and tighter. That's enough, Alpha 3. You see them kind of collapse, exhaling and coughing a bit, and he holds up a remote device in his hand. One more inquisition out of you all, and I won't be afraid to remove one of you from the situation.
Rampu, let's just see what he has to offer.
Well, it's a yes or no question, but how do we know we can trust you? We can just take this. How do we know we won't say yes to you and then you won't hit the button anyways? Again, speaking about professionalism, the only one that has made this situation worse is you. So how do we know we can even trust you to begin with?
The thing about cranial disassembly charges, he seems to just completely ignore you. They're directional, instantaneous. They do not hurt. Not for long, at least. And you start to hear a beeping sound. I'll give you one more chance. And he holds up a little hand device with a red button on the center of it. I will give you your rewards for completing the hunt. You accept and you leave. End of question.
I don't know why this is a question, Rampu. Just fucking take it.
Yeah.
I think it's
don't know
time we
what-
leave this planet.
This doctor might be much dumber than he looks because I am trying to accept. I don't know why. Again, he's the one that keeps instigating things.
He lifts up his
So,
finger and
yes,
inch away
say
from the
yes.
prison.
Just say yes.
Your stupid offer of whatever it is. If you please take your wannabe big man finger off the remote. But note that if you do anything to our crew, I will haunt you, and I will find you, and I will personally decapitate you, and I will stick your stupid fucking head up your ass. So choose wisely what you want to do with our crew, because I've lost one, and I'm not ready to do it again. So we can either accept your offer and be done, or you can fucking try something funny. But trust me, old Doc, it's not going to work out for you.
Roll a d6 for me, Rampill.
Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, no.
A 3 right in the middle.
He lifts up the remote once again, and you hear just one set of beeping occurring from the direction of... Let's see, who would that be? From Major Warwick Blastimov. and you see the lights on the back of his neck on the scarab start blinking brighter and brighter, and that beeping sound gets more and more intense.
Okay.
I guess Crick would kind of step up and just say, prestidigitation, booming voice, the whole 9 yards. We said we accept. It's time we leave this planet.
Very well. He kind of puts the remote down. The beeping stops. Not yet. Kind of mutters to himself. And you see him kind of reach over to the side and kind of gestures or pushes something over out of the screen's view. And as he does that, a kind of chute opens up from the ceiling, and dropping down of it is dozens, hundreds, thousands of gold coins just falling from the ceiling. And then from beyond that, you see a couple of other vials and stuff as well. And if you go ahead and some other pieces of machinery or armory, so I sent you guys this. It should have popped up on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Oh, that's sweet.
That he has given to you guys, and this is the new kind of inventory loot thing. So you can actually just click the add all. One of you guys can click the add all button on the top, and it'll add it to your guys' party inventory automatically.
There you go.
Anybody do it? If not, I will.
Yeah, I did it.
So I saw it turn to 0. Yeah.
That's sweet.
You would notice the moment Manto saw like one gold coin hit the ground, like his eyes bugged out and his hair just started going nuts, and he just beelines it across, and he's like, "Oh yes, finally, this is what we worked for."
Scrooge McDuck just getting showered in gold coin.
Thank you, Doctor.
I'm glad to see one of you are thankful and generous. He kind of looks down. And Manto, as he looks, you can tell he's, of course not physically there looking at you, but you feel his presence as if he's staring daggers at you.
But you've never seen a Thrycreen swim in a pool of gold coins, Doctor?
I've seen a few.
Actually, no, you haven't seen any Thrycreen because you eradicated my race. That's neither here nor there. I'm going to enjoy my gold coins.
You see him kind of reclining back in a kind of a mechanical kind of cradle. You can see this kind of mechanical kind of robotic simulacrum of a cat hop up on his lap, and he begins to pet it, kind of cold and metal-like. Well, you have gotten everything that you need, and if there's no more troubles here, he begins to open up the kind of sliding glass that you guys can see the ship outside from there now. You should be on your way.
I begrudgingly. As he said this, he released a crew too, right?
They haven't been released yet. They're still being held in the grasp. Yeah.
So then I would say, well, as you said, our ship and our crew would be returned for us to leave this space. So.
Yes. Collect all your things, and I'll make sure that Alpha 3, Beta 7, and Gamma 9 will make you and all your crew out there with no issues.
Does it look like these robots move? Like they have the capability of like shimmying?
Yeah, they definitely have capability of moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then can we like scoop everything, and I'll be like, okay, so like, whatever was said was said. Thank you for the reward. Well worth it. We're just trying to have our friends back so we can leave peacefully, and I'll just like start herding the Stormbreakers like towards the exit and just be like, you can follow, please don't hurt anybody.
And so while all this is going on, even from the beginning, like Crick has been staring at the doctor, right? And I'm assuming there's like a background to him, and you said there's a cat and all this other kind of stuff. Is there anything that maybe Crick would know or feel that would indicate where the doctor is? Like if he's not here, is there like a familiar tone to wherever he's sitting or anything of that nature?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Can I just use the other 30?
That was an Arcana.
18, and I think I have and I'm gonna add my own D4 to that. I think I still got one of those left. Nope, I don't. Never mind.
Yeah,
Solid
good. As you're observing, you can see there's a kind of a convex mirror behind him, and in the mirror you can kind of make out this small detail of like a pale blue dot reflecting in that. And you can see in the mirror itself, you can see kind of a window that would be sitting in front of him. So in front, you can see the mirror behind him, and you see a reflection in that mirror. And in that mirror, you see a view of kind of wild space of space itself. But you see a pale blue dot inside of that kind of reflection. And as well, say with an 18, there seem to be like kind of large fragmented chunks of planet or meteorite or something like that nearby that too.
I'm assuming Crick would probably put together that's most likely Toril, and he's at that one belt. I don't have the map directly in front of me, but okay.
Good.
Is that kind of...
I think Crick would be, having that kind of train of thought would feel aligned, yeah.
Okay, so as we're kind of putting everything up, I, whispering to the guys gently, like, we'll see him again. Soon, I think. As he's just kind of staring, like looking through the doctor, even though he's staring at the doctor.
I would be the first one to kind of get out of this little dome area. The moment that I kind of lose sight of the doctor and the robots, as well as the rest of the gang, I'm guessing it's like a little hallway that I'm in, correct?
There would be like kind of a small, from the geodesic dome itself, there's kind of just like a sliding glass panel that opens up to back outside to where you can go to like a docking kind of area.
Gotcha. I would along kind of exiting, I would be just constantly having my chameleon carapace blending in with the, I guess, foliage and outside nature. But upon, I guess, exiting those doors, I would immediately cast invisibility on myself, and then wait for those doors to open back up with our crew to then slide back in.
Okay. So, what's the rest of everyone else doing in this moment then?
I would. So this is 5,000 gold pieces. We should be able to carry it ourselves, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, just like a large chest or like a big ass sack or something.
Ooh.
Rampu's got both of those.
That's right.
Sounds like a Saturday night.
So, yeah, buddy. So, I'm trying to get everything over to the ship. And, once we get packed up, hopefully get the crew released. But now, did they? My question is, they left the driver, right?
No, Topla, she's here.
Okay.
She's right there.
So
Yeah,
I would say
yeah.
I would actually to the doctor say, hey doc, I know that you want to hold everyone until we have everything, but we could get out of here a lot faster if you could let our driver here go through. Bring the ship closer, we could lug all the stuff,
Make a persuasion check as you say that.
He's not much of an asshole, Kenny. Let's see. Persuasion. Wah, wah.
Love it.
Silver tongue
I
Rampu.
I know that pain.
Yeah, right. kind of looks at you. The four of you on the ship first, and once I make sure, and my servants make sure that the four of you are there, then, and only then, will I release.
Christ, did I even just interrupt? Fine, and I just start walking to the ship.
He
My
whispers down
hands
to
up in
Patty.
the air.
They think I didn't listen to them.
It's like, this doctor is a freaking moron, and I say loudly as I walk to the thing.
I will like nudge Rampu and be like, not.
I'm walking. I don't care.
Kill people, please. Langston looks at him like longingly and is like, he doesn't say much, just looks at him and just wants his eyes to be like, he's already lost enough. Please don't add more to that plate.
I am too frustrated at this point. I am walking, talking loudly. I don't give a shit. This fucking idiot would be out of his stupid hair if he just did what I said, but no! I'm just walking to the ship by myself. I'm not even like looking back. Just lugging as much as I can. Kind of like my computer today.
Alright. Crick, what about you? It sounded like Langston, you were following Rampu and keeping in.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I'm like over my shoulder. I'm like, sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry. He doesn't mean it.
So basically, we're out there, and then Manto just fucking appears.
Yeah, and again, like how I described the place in here, so man, you can discern this if you want, but there's not a hallway out from this area, so if you would have done that in here, it would have been in the room as well, essentially. That invisibility.
No, so when I would have walked out, like I said, I wanted to be the first person to walk out, then cast invisibility, and then while the door is still open, slide back in.
Okay. So Crick, what's up?
Crick would be looking for Manto. He would be walking, and eventually, I'm assuming it would just be Langston and Rampu, and he would start looking over his shoulder for Manto. And he would actually just be growing higher and higher concern as time goes by. Probably to the point that after a while, Manto? Have you guys seen Manto? And Crick kind of starts shaking a little bit. Is he on the ship already?
I can check and see. He wasn't that far ahead of us, was he?
Once I get to the ship, once I get to the ship, I'm gonna go up there. I'm gonna sign. Yep, he's with me.
Okay. And then he starts walking up to the ship, and as he gets on the ship, he's like, hey, Manto. He just starts looking for Manto on the ship. And he's growing, like, I don't know how long this is going to go, but
I was going to say,
like, every minute he gets angrier and angrier and angrier.
Probably in this time period, Manta, you would have begun to do whatever you're doing.
Yeah, so essentially what I'm doing, what my plan is, I hop back into the dome while being invisible, and I'm seeing where the robots and the doctor are taking our crewmates. Because it seems suspicious that there's a delay in us going on the ship, like, before they are. Like, why couldn't this all happen at once? So I gotta see what the doctor's up to.
Yeah, you kind of sneak back in there, and you see the robots all kind of still standing stagnant, holding onto each one of the crew members. And the screen of Sardonicus up above kind of crackling a little bit, and comes back into clearer view. And as this is happening, you're watching and observing them, and Warwick is kind of looking around. He's like, God damn, fucking Rampu almost got us fucking killed over there. He's kind of, we see him like shaking his head back and forth. He's like, I don't know what the hell this thing is on the back of my neck, but I swear it's no good. And Flinch looks over at him. He's like, it's gonna be all right, Captain. It's gonna be all right. We'll just they're gonna get on the ship and the robots are gonna let us be. Just try to remember what we were doing the other day. I was practicing that mindfulness with you. We're doing big deep inhales through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Shut up, monkey man. That stuff doesn't work. Sorry, I didn't mean that. It came out of a place of anger and hate. I'm sorry. In through the nose, out through the mouth. How many times I gotta do this again? Mantha, you're hearing this like conversation happening as like they're like still being held up by these robots, and back over on the ship as Rampu is on there. Langston has made it behind him, and Crick finally makes it on as well. As you guys are getting your way on over there, Crick, you notice. Actually, who would notice this? Let me double check. It might be you. Langston actually would notice.
Woo! Finally, it comes into play.
One of the kind of drone-like beetles kind of circling around the ship.
Oh. Okay, so
And back inside the
I'll,
dome, to reiterate it again, the robots are just standing completely still, holding them in place.
okay, so just like I'll see it and like look up like while we're just like loading stuff, I'll like realize that Manto isn't with us and think back to the doctor's words, and I'll just be like, oh, okay. And I'll like elbow like Crick and Rampu and like motion up to the scarab that's like hovering near us, just to be like, there's no fooling anything like this, and just make them aware of it.
And then when you point that out, I would say, "Oh, you asked if Manto was with me? No. I said, I'm waiting for Manto over here. I thought he was with you guys over there." And then I just start literally like yelling, "Manto, we gotta go. Hello."
He must still
You
be
in the bathroom?
woods.
Did he have to piss? I told
Maybe.
him. I told him, before we gotta go, and before we transport, but there's the ocean right there. It would have been fine. It would have had the seals. They were near and dear to my heart. But I mean, hey, whatever. When the Hydra corpse could have used some fertilization or something.
Over the loudspeaker, Sardonicus calls out, "It seems like one of you are missing." And again,
Wait. I'm pretty sure you traumatized him, right? And that he ran into the planet where his ancestors lived on. That thing, Very stressed out. Killed kind of like his whole family and all his ancestors and his, favorite Grandma Manto. She could really make a mean mud pie. So, give us a minute.
Quiche. I would have guessed quiche.
Oh, man, Manto hates quiche. Mud pie only.
you see him petting, and then you hear kind of meow, and he kind of puts the cat off to the side real quick, and he kind of inches his way a little closer to the crystal lens that projects his image.
Do we still see him outside? Like, he's got like another projection outside that we can see?
You guys would probably see like reflected on one of the panels of the
Like
exterior.
it's one like same image inside and out, where
Yeah.
we can just see like big old like Vegas dome, Opa Vegas dome style.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he would kind of inch in once again. I thought I made myself very, very clear. And, well,
In this moment, I would I would see Doctor kind of like starting to pretty much like fuck over like Langston, Crick, and Rampu, and I would see our crew and cast a telepathic network with them. I think I can only do, let's see, 6 people at a time. Where the fuck is it? Nate, are you seeing where my telepathic network feature is?
Let's see. Let me open up your sheet. You've
I don't.
got
I'm actually not seeing it anymore, and nothing would have changed.
reliable time.
Is it on? It's not. Is it psionic power?
Yeah, click that, and a little thing might pop up on the side that has something with that. Psychic whispers.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Psychic whispers. Yep. And so what I'll do is use my last
Proficiency
my
bonus
last
on people.
yep, to do that. So I will roll a, let's see. I don't know why the whole thing doesn't show up on my features. So, for 1d 8 hours. And so I can choose 4 creatures. For, let's see, for 5 hours. I don't think we obviously need it for that long. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll do it for the left 4 of our crewmates, and so I would just say they would kind of feel something like the nerves kind of like, you know, tingling like on the back of their neck, and in like their brain they kind of stick up, and they would just hear, guys, I've established a telepathic network with us 4. Please communicate internally if anything goes on with the robots. I'm going back to the ship. And I would proceed to then walk out the doors. Obviously, the doors open. And I would make myself uninvisible and be like, sorry, doctor, just had to pee real quick. Heading to the ship right now. It felt nice to kind of get one last tinkle on my one of our native planets before I'm back in space.
Disgusting.
And I'm trying to play it off as if like I'm sad, which, you know, I am. So like my head's down, I'm just kind of walking like methodically back to the ship, and just like maybe like kick a rock along the way.
Yeah, as you make your way back onto the ship, Langston and the rest of the guys on board, they're already have an eye on that kind of beetle-like drone that's been circling around a little bit. As Manto finally walks on board, it kind of scans overhead you guys with a kind of red projection beam that literally like does like a full body scan over you guys, and then it kind of flashes up in direction of the projection of the doctor, and flashes the image back to him, and kind of you guys can see like I kind of imagine like the virtual Nintendo where you stuck your head down and it was all red vector lines and stuff. You see like a projection
Oh
of
my God.
that on the like projected overhead of you, the 4 of you guys on the ship, and the doctor's like, now see, that wasn't very hard, and you hear this kind of mechanical whirling kind of sound, and you guys can see inside of the dome the 3 robots all become active, inert, and begin to start moving around, sliding through the pathway up towards the ship. They make their way up a little ramp and everything that the doctor has set up beside where the ships dock, all the Spelljammer ships dock, and one by one robot lets go a Topola, and Commodore Crux. The next one, and then slides on down. The next one lets up Flinch and Warwick, and the final one lets off Garganel, Davion, and Dervik. And the three robots all turn after letting them down onto the ship's deck, kind of turn, complete pivot, and just slide back down the deck and back into the dome, and closes off. And the Doctor kind of looks back at them, and you guys notice there's still the black scarabs attached to the backs of their necks currently. And he looks over and is like, now, all that there's left to do is be gone in peace. Peace for the rest of you, your crew, and let's hope, for your sake, that we never have to meet again. Congratulations, hunters. Well done. And you see his image start to flicker and kind of glitch out a little bit.
I know we don't know too much about like what's on the back of their necks. So I would kind of ask the crew, was like, is anything going to happen to them? Like, if we were to leave this planet right now, would like it like self-detonate, or like do we know that there's anything that would happen with them being on their necks?
Do you like ask the crew members this?
Yeah, I kind of asked the crew collectively to see if like we could all kind of like check them out to, I guess, buff any sort of I guess knowledge of this.
Topla would be like very like straight-faced, cold, calculated, be like, we need to leave this planet immediately. It kind of feels on the back of her neck, feels the scarab. She's like, I think that these are just, and this is a theory, and I hope I'm correct, but I think that these are just a fail-safe for if any of you guys try to, I don't know, cross him any certain way, not follow his orders. But I'm hoping that once we leave, and or begins to leave, and kind of points up to the dome that kind of surrounds the whole planet, that these will just kind of become one of them, and points off to like the one of the beetle drones flying around and following around, and just let us be. I think for now it was just a fail-safe for him, and make sure that you guys didn't do anything that was unwarranted. And she kind of looks over at Rampu with a very cold face.
Eh?
I think it's time we get off this planet.
We'll discuss later, Rampu.
And she begins to make her way back down to the lower deck. Again, very kind of slow, cold, mechanical kind of walk. Not unlike someone who feels like has just had a very kind of traumatic near-death experience happen to them, and is just kind of shaken to the core with that. And as she makes her way back downstairs, you feel the ship begin to lift back and forth a little bit. Finally lifts off the ground and begins to propel itself up into the atmosphere of Zelthar 4. And as you guys make your way higher and higher and higher, the rest of the crew is still kind of feeling around on the back of their necks and looking around at each other and like consoling each other in this moment. As you guys get higher and higher and you're about to breach that dome, that kind of barrier that protects the planet, the legs begin to unclasp from the necks of each one of these when you're your crew members. You see these kind of wings begin to flutter up and down, and the scarabs begin to take unlatch from them and begin to take flight back down towards the dome. So one by one, each one of them are relieved from this black device, and you guys clear the dome, clear out, and make your way back into wild space.
The moment I see the scarabs kind of like release from the rest of the crew, I would go to Rampu, and all 3 foot whatever of me would like, and my 4 arms would like kind of like grab his like the middle of his shirt and like push him up, and like one of my arms would be like, I know what you were trying to do, Captain, but you almost got more than one of us killed in there. You need to understand that eventually you just got to accept what they're saying.
accept what they're saying. I literally move his. He was talking nonsense. And you don't have to accept anything. He's telling us to be a professional while he kidnaps our crew. We're just supposed to accept it?
We either oblige and maybe we all walk out of there scotch-free, or we don't oblige and he does kill him. You got to be smarter about these decisions, man. Obviously, you are the captain. And listen. I'll let you talk. You let me talk. Obviously, you are the captain, and, you know, we oblige by what you have to say for the most part. But you almost got one of us killed, man. That's not cool.
I almost got one of us killed. How about your stupid invisibility plan, moron? You almost got everyone killed. I was actually abiding. I was making sure that he was going to abide by his plan, which, by the way, he didn't look like he was going to do. So, I'm sorry for making sure that we get some actual security before we proceed. You want to talk about operating by your own whim? That whole little plan of yours, that was operating by your own whim. And that could have gotten someone killed. But
Touché.
your trusty captain made himself look extra stupid and lied and bought us a little time to get it back going. So, maybe don't come at me, buddy.
Touche. We're both wrong.
Warwick
Listen,
comes
for the
down.
rest-
And I would-
Yeah.
And
I
I
would,
look at the
I'd
crew,
spit my hand. I'd spit my hand and kind of like go for a shake.
and I literally turn around. I don't even. And for the rest of you, how the hell did you allow yourselves to be captured? You have any idea what the hell we've been fighting? Huh?
Warwick looks at you. Yeah, Rampu, like, it was our choice. Like, we really wanted to get captured. You know how strong that these robots are, these machinery, this technology. It's far beyond anything I've ever experienced or seen in my travels. Look. Listen to what Flinch says. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Look, all I'm trying to say... It's like... We kind of breathes and smells. Anyways, regardless, we're all out of here alive. You sometimes, kind of gestures over to Rampill, you talk too damn much. You want too much out of everyone, and almost, I swear, I was seconds away from being killed. And he looks over at Manto, and you, Manto, I don't know what the hell that was. Talking in my mind and shit, I almost pissed myself, but hey, we got out of there safe. I don't want to hear the arguing. We're all alive. We're okay. And he kind of looks at you guys with this kind of big sack that you're carrying. And it looks like we're 5,000 gold pieces richer.
Crick leans
Yeah,
over
we
to,
are.
Crick leans over to Langston while all this is going on. Rampu's pretty upset for someone who almost got everyone killed. But I agree with the big fella. And he's just counting gold.
Langston assumes position at head of the table in his office, this imaginary table. Just writes a picture that got slanted from the arguing that's not there. It still says "hang in there." He wants to believe it like it's a cat on a tree. And it's just gestures at it as like he gets it. Fellas, I think tensions were high because we've experienced a lot of things today. I know it wasn't ideal. I think everybody had the best interest of our friends, our allies, and each other in heart. It might not have gone through the best, but we know how to be better moving forward. We know situations that can merit, some bargaining, talking to, some haggling. In this case, it wasn't one. It's never worth playing with lives of people we care about. And it all worked out. It shook out for the best. I think everyone here had good intentions. We're here. We're square. Everything's cool. We got it. We got a reward, like Warwick mentioned.
Before you can
We got
finish
everybody else?
speaking, Flinch comes running down the stairs and just jumps on you guys. Yeah! He leaps across the floor and just wraps his arms around you guys and gives you guys a hug. Oh, shit. I tried telling Warwick. He said that you guys probably died days ago. Shut up. I didn't say that. Okay. It was yesterday.
Hits the slowest head turn, just as like, oh yeah?
And Flinch kind of looks at you guys. Well, hold on. Where's Lurk?
Just curls up in a ball and falls to the floor.
Well,
No.
Lurk is he's ascended. And
Wait, I didn't know he was in a cult.
well, kind of actually. In hindsight, 2020, I just never thought about it that way. But yeah, looks like he got a good cult because he was. Let's say things weren't going too well for him, and he kind of came back to life. He still was himself. Then he really had things not go right for him, but then he came back like really strong, and badass looking,
And hot.
Uh-huh.
and like super shiny and shimmery. Cool.
He was very handsome, actually.
He was
It
a
was awesome.
handsome man.
Great hair.
This is all very confusing and overwhelming. I'm going to... I'll be right back. He kind of gestures to you guys and makes his way back downstairs. I'm fucking starving, as he mutters as he goes running back down. And he disappears from you guys. And in this moment, as you guys are all kind of finally back on the ship, the four of you guys alive, Topolo comes out as you guys are kind of like in gear and just continuing your travels. Thanks, everyone, for what you did back there and getting us out safely. And I'm sorry for being a little cold when we first got on board. Did not anticipate or ourselves being brought into the fold with all of that. That's neither here or there. We're alive, and I don't need to dwell on the past. I need to move forward to the future. So, with that in mind, where to?
Well,
I think the answer's pretty simple, guys. We have to go to Saloon. I have a doctor's appointment.
Langston
they
just
have
wide
laser
eyes
pistol
looks
ammo
at
there?
Crick and is like, okay, that's... When did you get a sense of humor, you wisecracking gnome you?
So, we're gonna head towards Toril then. Alright. Should be... That's a couple days travel. Hope everyone's got, something to read and something to spend their time with. It'll take us a couple days to be there, but I'll get us there regardless. And,
I
again...
do actually want to know what the hell, how you guys were captured, because I do plan to see this doctor again sometime. And that's good information to know.
Those, well, we're all hanging out, chillaxing on the deck, and we're, hanging out by the dome as the rest of the ships are and were, and, well, some of those robots began to come out in droves, just yesterday, and when they did, they threw up some sort of flash grenade of sorts or explosion, and well, that happened, and there's this loud ringing kind of sound, and I don't know, next thing we woke up and we had these things attached to the back of our necks and being held up by these things, and I feel very, very tired.
And you said they threw these, did they throw them on the ship? I start looking around the top to see if there's any remnants of these flash grenades.
Yeah, we were all just kind of, playing rummy up on the deck up top and soaking up the cosmic rays of Zelthar 4, and yeah, the next thing I know, flash of white light, and yeah, it's happened up there. Points up to the top deck. I guess you guys are on the top deck, yeah.
Well, I'm going to pretend that you didn't say that you were playing rummy and enjoying the rays instead of making sure that you weren't boarded. But with that being said, next time, and I'm going to start looking around to see if I can find anything. And I say, everybody, make sure to scout out this area. If we can find any of this technology, we might be able to look into it and see what the hell it is. Maybe reverse engineer of some sort. And maybe we can find ways to combat this kind of crap in the future.
And
So,
keep an eye out for any other bugs or
I start
investigative
searching.
things that they might have left.
Yeah.
As well as long-term effects that might occur with the crewmates that had the scarabs on it. I'm curious to see if that does anything to them. Also, Topola, you wouldn't happen to know on our way like towards Toril, would there be the Shadow Exchange? Like I said, gents, I have to re-up on laser pistol ammo. Running a wee short.
The Shadow Exchange, as you guys recall, it's constantly changing its locations. It's not something I'm aware of. But what was your guys' friend's name back at the LaGuardia or LaGuardia? Garadia? Yeah, the airport.
LaGuardia. LaGuardia. I've heard nightmares in the cosmos.
Yeah, seriously.
Name was Antonio.
Guy owes me $350.
Call this a slice. So yeah,
Shit, I'll have to find his name. The dude I have been exchanging speaking stones with.
Gorak.
Oh yeah, the head of the thing. Yeah.
Gorak.
Thank you, Gorak. Langston will just send a quick sending stone and it'll just say, "How you doing?"
Well, real quick, before you do that, everyone roll a perception check real quick. If you guys are following Rampu's direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to make sure there isn't anything on here
You're
we're
fine.
tracking us.
Nice.
21.
Nice.
16.
We're back, everybody.
We
That's
see,
us, Lurk.
everything.
Yeah, so Rampu, you're kind of very, I guess first Manto, you would notice that there seems to be like a place on the ground where you see like splintered wood. Perhaps you point this out to Rampu, and with Rampu, you seeing that, you then follow the traces of that, and you're able to find small pieces of like shrapnel embedded into like the wall of the ship deck, of that upper deck there.
All right, so I'm going to pull out my short sword and use kind of the tip to try to get as much shrapnel as I can out.
Are you just using the tip?
Venture. Just the tip. Gotta be gentle.
Roll a D100 for me.
Ooh.
So many chances. 47.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of begin to pull out this piece of metal, this shrapnel from the wood here, you are able to get this like kind of decent sized chunk, and you see a small marking that was kind of on the edge of it, so it's not fully there, but you see a marking on the edge of the metal that kind of looks like kind of black and long and kind of
We are.
Yeah, what's up? I know there was something there that yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you see some sort of insignia on the edge of this piece of shrapnel, but you can't make out the full insignia on it, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to run down into my room. And I'm going to draw what I can of the insignia so I can memorize it and keep an eye out for it in the future.
All right, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. And as you guys, of course, have had a pretty full day of. This is like the day that you guys have traveled up the mountain and everything still, in full, and then fought the Nightmare Beast. You're exhausted and beaked, and I'm sure that this would be a great time for you guys to take a rest, right?
Oh, yes.
That was like a month ago, I thought.
Yeah, seriously. So as you guys all make your way into your own private quarters, pockets a little bit heavier. You guys got some nice magic items, and in addition to the magic items, Crick, remember Lurk in his Deva form gave you his Iron Gauntlet too. That's in the party inventory as well, for you guys to check out at your own leisure. But as you guys go find your place of rest, finally on a mattress, not sleeping out underneath the stars or on the ground, you can get yourself some nice long rest, feel yourselves rejuvenated, so much so that you level up to level 11, and this is what we'll play up the next time we get together.
Love it.
Baby.
Yes.
Right.
Let me update that.
Long rest.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm in
you.
my room.
Yep. So go ahead
Cover
and
all hit dice.
take that rest. Level up as you please. And I know Rampu is doing his drawing and everything, but you guys, of course, getting to sleep. Is there anything else before you guys would like to call it a night? And we end it there, as we will be out for 2 weeks or whatever.
I.
Go
Oh,
ahead. Go
good.
ahead.
You go first. You got to draw and tie that up.
So I'm in my room and I'm drawing the insignia,
Mm-hmm.
and I am just so like brain dead and exhausted that as I'm doing it, I kind of weirdly start drifting off into sleep. But total just images of familiarity start going through my brain, and I don't know if I'm dreaming this, but a voice which kind of sounds like my mom, is telling me to do something at Toral, and I don't know what the hell it is, but I don't know if this is real, this is a dream, but that is what I'm fading off into. Just it says something about coming home, and that's all I can really catch at the time.
Love that. Yeah, and with that, sleep finds you extremely comforting. Almost like you're being cradled once again in your mother's arms, even. And so, yeah, it's a very deep, restful sleep for you. And again, that kind of feeling of longing and just questioning, what is this yearning? What is this pulling? And Rampu's got to get that answer. With that, anyone else?
I think Langston is just like after the day he's had with everybody and the absolute whirlwind of emotions and seeing like the crew being like they were. I mean, I know, Flinch jumped on us, Warwick came down to talk to us. I think Langston's just making rounds talking to everybody, just being like, we were gone for 4 days and is just, is everyone cool? I know that was traumatizing. How is everybody? And just kind of like tending and just having like small talk and just making sure everyone is like still cool on the level and it's just making rounds through the ship. Talks to Starbo the longest. Dude's got so much conversation and words of wisdom to offer, but is definitely just pinging around the ship, I would say.
I love it. Yeah. As you're talking to Starbo for a bit, he looks that he reaches over with one of his branches. He's like, "Why'd you have to leave us?"
We had to get money for the ship, big guy. Come on. We had to get money. We can add stuff to the ship. We can continue our travels. I was trying to find you a wife. Didn't go well. All the trees there were kind of evil and terrible and dying, so.
I was twigging out for a moment. I thought you guys were goners.
Don't you worry. We could never leave you, buddy. And I'll, pat his trunk.
I harbor strong feelings for you too, Langston.
Okay, settle down. Also, fantastic work on the pun. Well done.
I'm glad you recognize my intelligence.
So wise in the ways of the woods.
And beyond. Kind of just gazes out to the stars.
I think that's what I do, and then after checking on everybody, just seeing the 1,000-yard stare, and I'm just like, all right, I'll just keep making rounds, then end up eventually tuckering out and going to bed.
Love it. Anything, Manto, you want to add to anything?
Nope. I would go down to my room, and I would just be sitting there in my bed, and I'm like, huh. Okay, well, I didn't get to try Nightmare Beast, so I can't cross that off the bucket list. So then I decided to just go back up on the deck, because I'm like, I don't need to sleep, so I might as well hang out still while everyone else is sleeping. And I'm just sitting there on the deck. It's like still processing what the fuck just happened.
Hell of the last 4 days, and to be welcomed back to that scare with the doctor and kind of imminent threat of your crew, I'm sure it's shaking you guys to your core, but nonetheless, the core four of you guys are still alive and well, and proceeding on with your quest. And then, Crick, anything to end the night?
And so kind of after everything goes down, Crick's still kind of moody. He's still kind of upset. So he goes down to his room by himself, shuts the door, and he just starts staring at the wall again. And just kind of, Crick, you lost another one. We can't fail like that anymore. And you know, he's got the gauntlet and all that kind of stuff. And as he's like playing with the gauntlet, I think there's like a ring on it or something. And he's just kind of peering at the ring. And he goes, maybe this could help. As he slides that off the gauntlet. And then throughout the night, you guys hear, you know, typical Crick noises coming from his room as he drilling, pounding, all that good stuff.
Oh my god. He's at it again.
Incredible. As you guys find your way back onto the ship and back into your old swing of things, you're back to normal, at least to a degree. The crew finds themselves flying back through wild space, heading back to their near their home planet. And with a few days of travel between here and there, we'll see what happens next, as we'll pick it up there. Thank you all for playing. I know we went a little bit over. Thanks to anyone who joined us for watching tonight. Make sure you guys level up to level 11. And if you have any questions, let me know. But with that, go ahead, take a long rest, and look out for those goblins under the stairs. We will catch y'all next time. Check it out. Peace.
Oh, boy.
Peace, y'all. Good night.
Good night.
I'll see y'all in a
Later.
couple weeks.